What's up, everybody? Welcome back. We are here with some internet bad boys.
Yeah.
Okay, and we got to get to the bottom of something. Why do you guys not like black women?
Here we go.
Well, we just came from the KKK rally, so we really can't.
Were you well received?
They told me I couldn't join.
Ah,
They told me I
yes.
couldn't join.
Yes,
They're like, hey,
yes,
you're an
they
Arab?
have their
nah,
rules.
you don't count, bro. Get out of here, boy. I was like,
I'm fucking
damn,
with you.
okay.
But obviously, you saw what happened on the internet. You guys saw us react to it.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
hit me.
Uh-huh.
And like I've always said on this podcast, if we ever talk about somebody and they want to clarify their opinions or at least have a conversation about it, you're always welcome. You said, hey, I want to come on. You are here. The floor is yours. Tell us what happened.
So I went to this KKK rally. No, I'm just kidding. No, man, long story short, so this is kind of a longer story, but...
Right.
We got time.
Oh, we got time? We got time today? Yeah. So we had Asian Doll come on our show.
Yeah.
Right? And actually, you booked her as the guest.
Yeah, so
right?
funny story. So I met her in the club. We spoke, me and her manager, and we had a cool vibe, cool person. Hey, come on the show. We'll show you some love. Boom, boom, boom. She agreed. Cool. Next day comes around. Her manager's there. She's 2 hours late.
Right.
But we're like, you know what? We'll start the show. You know what? Just showing you love. We'll still bring you on, even though you're 2 hours late.
Yeah.
But, you're coming into it kind of like 2 hours late. And then from there.
And then, mind you, so we had been having the show going on already.
Yeah.
And we had two girls, well, actually one girl that was on the panel. She kept interrupting, and you guys know running a podcast, you can't have people having sidebar conversations.
Yeah.
Multiple
Distracting
people
for the
speaking.
listener.
It's
Yeah.
ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? So, and we're live. So it's not like we can do it in post or anything like that. So it's like everything they say, they can hear it, and the audience, doesn't want to hear that.
Yeah.
So I told her for the 7th time, and this is when Asian Doll just sits down.
Yeah.
Hey, can you stop having a sidebar conversation? I've told you 6 or 7 times now.
Right.
So Asian Doll kind of steps to the girl's defense, like, oh, you're mean. And I was like, I just stopped the show, and I was like, how am I mean? And I explained to her, I had been telling her prior to you getting here
7 times
what was going on, 2 hours plus, for 2 hours long.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, well, you're just a mean ass nigga. And then she I don't care, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And even after I explained to her the situation, she basically responded by saying, I don't care.
Right.
I don't give a fuck. I'll do what I want. I'm going to say what I want, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So I was like, whatever. Well, then you can leave then. And Fresh had booked her, right?
Yeah.
And her manager was there. So instead of me, out of respect for him, because normally I'd be kicking people off the show. I don't care. But out of respect for him, because he booked it and everything, I was like, you know what? Fresh, you handle this. I was mad. Not mad, but I was serious. I was like, well, you got this. And I just walked away from the situation. I had to use the bathroom anyway. I always drink water. So, and then by the time I came back, I was gone for a minute or two. They were gone and they left. And I don't really have anything bad to say about them. It's just come on, man, please respect the platform. But is that
where this whole conversation stemmed from? Because I heard about the Asian Doll situation. I'm not really too familiar with her, but I am familiar with people potentially being rude on a podcast. It's your podcast. You don't like the way they're acting, you could potentially kick them out. That's your prerogative. I think we're talking, what?
I think what he's saying is because people were offended by that, then they go scrub through the history.
Exactly. So let me, now I'm going to fast forward to,
you're saying the internet is fuck these guys. I hate them. Let me figure out why.
Yeah. Exactly. So basically all that happened, right? Shade Room posted. And of course they posted out of context, he told this girl to get out, blah, 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 and he was being rude. But they don't realize that I was actually talking to the other girl, not Asian Doll herself.
Oh.
She stepped in to intervene for the other girl.
Got you.
But she had not known that girl was being extremely disruptive to the podcast 2 hours prior, for 2 hours before that. And I actually documented in another show the 6 or 7 times I told her, please stop having cyber conversations. Right. Please stop doing that. Please. Being nice the whole time.
Yeah.
So what she does is she goes on Twitter and says, I was just defending a black woman, Cap. Right? It wasn't that. You got called out because you didn't know what happened prior. You didn't want to look stupid. So now you're going to go ahead and say, I'm a savior. I just was protecting a black woman. Then that's when Twitter pulls out that old clip from a year ago and says, these guys are racist too. Check this out. And then bang, that's when all the backlash started coming.
And it's funny.
Now, what's the clip that we're talking about? It was the one where you guys were saying that your preference is dabble in the dark. Yeah.
So
the Knight Rider shit was funny, bro. I'm not going to lie. Now, it's
David
not.
Hasselhoff, man. I always
Here's
say
the thing. Knight Rider is looked at as fucked up because you're saying you don't do it. But if I was a white dude and I'm like, bro, I'm a Knight Rider, bro. I love Knight Rider. Might be racist too. But not received as poorly. That being said, I understand where you guys are coming from. You're like, yo, none of y'all had an issue with this a year ago. Now that this girl stirred up the internet, made it, and Shade Room made everybody hate us. They're looking for the worst things that we said. And if you podcast for 9 hours a week, you could easily go and find an excerpt in those 9 hours where you look horrible.
So I'll explain that part, right? So this backlash happens, right? I was defending a black girl. Cap, it wasn't that. You just look dumb and you didn't want to look dumb. So you guys said defend a black girl. Boom. Then someone resurfaces this Twitter thing. Mind you, we had already went viral because of this.
On Twitter.
On Twitter prior, like 6 months before.
Yeah,
Got you.
Literally.
So, but the thing is it never went to YouTube. It just stayed on Twitter, died there. Like something called Black Twitter. I didn't even know it existed until this clip came out.
Shocking.
So, yeah.
Black Twitter's real.
White girl
They're real.
They're real.
That shit.
I had a bunch of angry people messaging me after. So anyway, so the clip resurfaces, blah, blah, blah. And with that episode, what they did was they pulled like a 30-second excerpt from an episode we did about a year ago where we talked about using different dating apps to meet different girls. Okay. And our show, for those of you that might not know, we shoot it live, right?
Yep.
And we get super chats that come in and we read the super chats. We make jokes, ha, 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 all that other stuff. We take call-ins.
Those are donations, by the way.
Donations
to the show.
So it's a very interactive show with our audience. So someone sent in a super chat, and mind you, we had just finished making fun of some other YouTubers in this clip, but prior to what they actually clipped. And then he says, hey, have you ever heard of the dating website Blacked? And then that's when we made those jokes like, haha, we don't dabble in the dark, Night Rider, whatever. And we say that joke all the time about like Night Rider. We ask girls when they come on, like white girls, hey, do you like the BBC, whatever?
Yeah.
And she'll be like, yeah. I'm like, all right, she's a Night Rider, David Hasselhoff in house, ha ha ha, right?
Right.
No one says anything, but they want to go and pull that clip.
But don't you think the issue is you guys just declaring that you don't really date black girls? Don't you think that's what people are upset about?
Well, I mean, at the same time, we have preferences, right? And we have standards. But, we were kind of joking because of the Blacked dating app per se. It wasn't like, oh, we hate black women. It's more like, okay, we don't really date like hood black chicks per se. Like LaShawn and LaQuisha. But it wasn't like we hate black women. It's like they took it that way because of Asian Doll, but we didn't say we hate black women.
Right. But you would date black girls is what you're saying.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, we have in the past.
Bro.
It's not our normal preference.
I had a yacht party, bunch of white girls. I was dating the only black girl there.
Right.
It's like, bro, I don't hate black women. My mom's black. My sister's black. It's like, what?
Yeah.
Weird.
It's just like, they're going to sensationalize it, paint this narrative that you guys are racist, take a 10-second clip. And here's the thing. If anybody watches our podcast, we're kind of like you guys, very politically incorrect, make jokes.
That's the thing. I never criticize people for
like
jokes. That's the. I'm not gonna. But then again, we might have different prerogatives with the podcast. Like I think you guys are more like a life coaching space and like helping guys become the best version of themselves. And we are comedians that just say fucked up shit all the time. It's literally called Flagrant too. Like we are being flagrant on purpose. So you're gonna be treated with different expectations.
Of course. And the thing is this, like. I make fun of everybody,
But go into the preference thing, man. Let's talk about what...
I make fun of everybody, so it's like...
Fuck that. Preferences, bro.
Preferences.
Like, I want to
here's
know...
where I'm coming from.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem... Well, I'm not saying I don't have a problem with a joke, but I have empathy for trying to be funny, and then it comes out fucked up, and then everybody's on your neck.
Exactly.
That's something... Al can speak to black shit a lot more. I can speak to, you're trying to be funny. It comes out fucked up. That's not what you meant. What I don't like, what I find corny as fuck, is my preference is not my women. Now, I thought it was I'm not dating my women, period, which is the corniest human being outside of a criminal to me, period. It's just, those are your roots. Those women are reflected in your roots. So if you're saying, hey, I don't generally date them, but I have more space for it, even though I still think it's a little corny between, that's just my thing.
Like Akash is the extreme. Like Akash only dates brown.
Oh, okay.
Akash has been with one girl in his life who is his wife.
That's my wife. That's an
so
Indian
this
woman.
is
that was
like
important
loyal
to me.
through and through.
Okay.
And I understand it's not as important for y'all, but as an Indian, there's not a lot of us who are famous. So whether you like it or not, people are looking at you as a role model. You guys have established yourselves as role models. From simps to pimps, which is another motto I find kind of corny, but I looked into what you guys are about. And a lot of the shit is just childish, which is fine if you want to be funny. We just talked about how doctors ain't shit for 45 minutes. We are not in any way life coaching. We are not in any way trying to help men outside of, hey, come have a laugh for a couple hours. If you're going to paint yourself as life coaches and then say shit like, I just don't really fuck with black girls like that.
I guess my like just curiosity, I'm just curious, is like, where does preference come from? Like, I was trying to think about this after I saw the clip, and I was just like, why do I like what I like? And I really was thinking about that. Like, who decides that? Is it my life? Is it my surroundings? Like if I was raised in Mexico, I'm sure I would find Mexican girls beautiful. I would eat Mexican food. Like these would be my preferences.
Yeah.
But preferences aren't really choices, right? Culture dictates our preferences.
I think it's experiences. Also, I want to say what you've been raised on, what you've been taught. Because, for example, I'm from the islands, right? Barbados.
Yeah.
So I've seen mainly black women my whole life. Now, when it comes to like tourist girls, I was like, wow, white girls are here in Barbados? Lit. I want to see what's up.
Wildin'.
So
Yeah.
I give it a try. Like, it's pretty dope.
Yeah,
Now, it's two different cultures. So for me, I was like, okay, let me try something new, see how it is.
Yeah.
Now I'm here in the States, it's like, okay, Spanish girls, white girls, girls from all over the world, all right, bet. However, regarding black women per se, like, dude, like, my thing is, like, we're in a space where, like, people are targeted, especially the black people per se, black, white.
Yeah.
And it's like, whatever you say can be used to the extreme. So what we said was kind of like, I want to say, not funny to them, but to us is like, we're just cracking jokes, trying to be...
You're being hyperbolic about your dating preferences.
Yeah,
right?
pretty
That's
much.
kind of how I took it, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But I think I think you can understand how the internet might have taken it, right? And then doubling down and being like, it's okay to have this as a preference that you... Like, usually your preference is what you like, not what you don't.
Exactly.
I think that was the biggest issue. Like, if you just
Yes.
like, hey, my preference is I kind of like Latinas, I don't even think you get any pushback. But saying my preference is I don't like that, that's, I think, where people start to feel rejected, and then they go, why don't you like me, man? Like,
And
what's
also
wrong?
the way they said they didn't like it. Like that's what I was like bothered by the clip. It's like you guys go out of your way to say what you don't like, even though that's not what you're discussing. It's like your preference is what you do like, but then the way in which you went about how you don't like black women. Oh, I don't like the ratchet. I don't like the ghetto. I don't like the Shaniquas. Like, that's like, if you were a white person saying all that, that's racist shit. And I'm just disappointed in you guys as black men to be talking about our sisters like that. So you don't have a problem with the way you spoke about your sisters like that? Like if it was him saying the same thing, you would be upset.
No.
So if he was like, oh, I don't like ghetto black women, I don't like Shaniquas.
It wouldn't bother me.
That's a preference.
Wow.
Because the thing is that
That's lame.
I the only thing I can control is my reactions to what happens in the world. Like, the world is not a fun, it's not like a rosy place where everyone is gonna not be biased or not be racist or whatever. Like, I understand that there's gonna be people that are inherently racist. It is what it is. The only thing I can control is my emotions to it. So I don't get mad about what people say because that's just the way things are. The world doesn't owe me understanding. So all I can do is control.
Real quick. You know what's weird is like,
So
the word
it
racist
wouldn't
keeps
affect me
getting
personally.
thrown out. Like, I never saw it as racist because I don't know. I didn't believe that you guys wouldn't date a beautiful black woman.
Yeah, we
that,
have in the
like,
past for sure.
Yeah, like I just didn't believe that. And again, you guys can correct me, but like for me, the word like preference is so weird because I think our preferences are really like mechanisms that we use to find like emotional security. You know, like if a person's like super quiet, like if I'm like this quiet, like shy dude, my preference is probably an aggressive girl because she allows me to be in my safe place.
Right.
I don't have to go like out of my way to go get her. And I'll probably prefer that girl, but it's not based on like this chemistry thing. It's really based on like what allows me to feel like emotionally secure, right? And like, let's say I'm a controlling ass dude. I probably want a girl that is a little bit more like in need of guidance because submissive, because then I get to feel my safe place, which is controlling.
Right.
So like, I feel like if a girl, and again, I can't speak for y'all, but I feel like if a girl gave you that emotional security, regardless of what race they were, you guys would date them, no? I can't feel like
Here's the
just
thing
because they're black, you would say no.
Yeah, here's the thing about the clip.
Context.
Like I said, it's context. It's
Yeah.
us having a good time. It's us making jokes. We make fun of everyone. It's just that they don't clip all the other segments of us making jokes on everyone else. They want to clip that one section at 20, 30 seconds, say that, try to paint a narrative. You guys are racist, and because you guys are racist, this is why you kicked Asian Doll off your show. And
I don't think racist.
I never saw
and, the
racist,
racist.
yeah.
I don't.
But I'm just saying what they were
that's
trying
fine.
to paint us
and
as.
you guys,
know what I'm saying?
I know people who know you. They say you're good guys, stand-up guys. So I don't have a problem with you as people.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I wouldn't have you on this podcast. And then you know what I mean, like
Yeah, sure, we can have a
give you
discussion on
dap
it,
or
yeah.
whatever. But
We're like curious. This isn't
it's
a
not
gotcha thing.
racist
Like,
to
I'm
me.
literally curious to have the conversation.
Yeah, what does bother me, and that
I
I think it's not racist, is self-loathing, which to me, I don't particularly give a fuck how any other race looks at us. I give a fuck how we look at ourselves. So if I saw an Indian saying some shit like that, that would bother me more. Andrew told me he doesn't like Indian girls all the time. That's great. Don't date him. That's good for me. But when an Indian says that shit, right? Then it's like, yo,
I do that because you say you don't like white women.
I know. And
but if you keep this up, I'm going to divorce my wife and fuck a lot of Indian chicks just to prove you wrong.
Isn't that refreshing from a minority, though? You look at how the rest of them are acting. But I have a problem with somebody that I feel is self-loathing, and I'm not going to be as offended because you're not from where I'm from. But if I was black and I was Alex, I'd be like, yo, that shit is more than racist, is self-loathing, and that bothers me.
What do you guys say about that?
I get what you're saying.
Like, do you guys, so let's remove the racism thing here.
Yeah.
What about, do you think it has anything to do with self-loathing? Is there any like kind of like internalized hatred, which might not even be your fault? It might be like the surroundings you were in and made you feel like these girls weren't good enough for you.
I would say, honestly, bro, like, just experience, man. Like,
yeah.
For example, like you said earlier, if I met a girl that's like feminine, submissive, and like black, I could date her. And like in the past, like I told you, I had a yacht party. She was the only black girl there. I was dating her. So it's like, it's not I hate black women. It's more like experience shows me that, hey, for whatever reason, like, you know, if I find somebody with those traits, I'll date them.
So this is interesting. A buddy of mine,
and we have different opinions on it, you know.
Oh, well, go. I want to hear yours.
I mean, it's just like. What I'm saying is that like it's not our normal preference, as in like it's not what I normally date. But if you were to take 10 girls that I've dated in the past, maybe 1 or 2 of them would be black.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's not the normal thing I go for. And as far as like me being offended if someone were to say something about a race or whatever, like I said, I wouldn't personally be offended by it. You know, like we make jokes on everyone, so it's like, hey man, we make fun of Asian girls, white girls.
Again, I don't have an issue with the joke. I have an issue with the mentality.
Yeah.
I think it's not about the joke.
The joke to me, you were talking to a guy who's made the craziest jokes, death threats from everywhere. I can separate myself and be like, it's a joke that failed. That's the high wire act.
We had Alex Jones on the podcast.
No,
we don't give a fuck when it comes to the jokes, right?
No, for sure. But
I just want you guys to understand where the reaction is coming from, because I think it maybe will better help you.
No,
respond
we understand.
To it.
We understand.
So it's not the jokes. It's literally just feeling like you don't date a specific group of people and them trying to understand. I think that's what it is, because I think what you said is probably the most honest, which is, yeah, if this girl met all the things that I like in a woman and she was black, I'd obviously date her. But I don't know if you feel the same way.
No. If she met my requirements, and her skin tone is irrelevant. But what I'm saying is that most of the time, you know, most of the girls that I've dated just didn't fit that parameter of.
So here's the thing. Like my buddy right now who's trying to find a Jewish girl, right? He might be in this room. And he's trying so hard to find a Jewish girl. Yeah. And he just found Latin Jewish girls. Ooh. And he goes, oh my God, they got the whole Latin thing and they're Jewish. And now all of a sudden the Latin thing is kind of like a preference, right? They're so sexy, they're so intimate, there's like this spicy real connection. Now, there's nothing wrong with you saying, I like the Latin thing, right? Now you're putting that affect on all Latin women, which is not necessarily the case, but you want a Latin girl who is Jewish. Right? So is it possible to put a cultural affect on a race? Maybe when you guys were speaking about race, you were really speaking about a cultural thing. Because if you made a girl from Lagos, Nigeria, they might act completely different than a girl that you're meeting from South Florida, a girl that you meet from California, a black girl, etc. Like there's not going to be this monolith amongst black women, right?
I would say I would say like
both of y'all.
Where you're raised will determine how you act for the most part, right? So Caribbean girls are different from girls from the U.S. versus like Nigeria. So it is culture, man. Honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah. What say you?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm looking for certain traits first, and then obviously, you know, her race is irrelevant if she matches certain traits that I'm looking for in a woman. But what I'm saying is that most of the women that I've dealt with just don't tend to be black, and it's not something I necessarily go for.
That black women tend not to have? This is a dangerous question, but I have to ask.
I mean, there's obviously we know the stereotypes, which I won't even go into right now, but a lot of the time it doesn't necessarily match with what I'm looking for.
Okay.
So
yeah.
Wait, quick question for y'all in here. Have you ever dated a black chick?
Yeah.
Have you?
Only Indian girls.
Have you?
That's why, again, I have.
So, if you were to prefer a girl, would you date her? Question for you.
I don't look at, race doesn't come into play. Like I just look at the traits. Like you guys, that's why I don't understand how you don't see an issue with what you said, because you both just said, hey, I look for traits first, like the personality traits, and it doesn't matter her skin tone. But then in the clip, you guys are saying, I don't date black, I don't date dark, I don't fuck with Shaniqua's. Like you're just talking about race in that entire clip. So how do you not see the problem with the clip when you both just say, hey, I go for personality
You said
first?
LaShonda and LaQuisha.
And you said you don't do dark.
That was a joke, bro.
Oh, so
I think there's a lot of reading into this like clip right now. Like it's like
Here's what I think though. I think
I
you
do
guys,
believe.
like,
I do believe
it's a joke, man.
joke,
I mean,
like,
that's a cop out.
yeah.
It's a cop. Like if your show is educational and I'm trying to help people, and then when I say something wrong, oh, that was a joke.
I run around the room.
we gotta
with
make
a
it
Naruto
entertaining
hat.
too, bro.
I
You
think
know what I'm
ninja
saying?
stuff.
I'm
Like,
always
we make
going to be
jokes, bro.
on the
Yeah.
side. I'm always going to be on the side of jokes, and that's just who I am. I'm a comedian. I support.
We
that,
also
and I
can't
support-
necessarily ask him to have the same empathy as us as
Yeah, of
comedians.
course. Al's not a
That's
comedian.
a black dude.
Al's not a
so
comedian.
that's
But a
not
comedian, I always got to defend
I can
jokes.
understand. I'm trying to be funny and I misword some shit. But then when I peel it back and I dig into what you're saying, it's still it's more troubling to me.
So say that. Like say, hey, I misspoke. I told a bad joke. But you guys are doubling down and saying that you're like, there's nothing wrong with what I said.
Nope.
There's nothing wrong at all.
But
See,
I don't.
like,
but that's
that's
cap.
bullshit. That's
Y'all both
bullshit.
said that you date black women as long as they fit the things that you want.
It's not a normal preference.
But no. But like,
know,
but
like-
okay. You're taking Double and Dark as like every black girl. We're saying
Yeah.
LaQuisha, LaShonda. I'm not dating no hood black chick, bro. Hell no.
So you misspoke. You made a bad joke.
Nigga, we said it's a joke.
No, but I'm saying so you made a bad joke. So you wish you didn't say that.
No.
Like,
But is
you're being
this
hypocrites. You're
is
being
this
hypocrites, and this is
ego,
a cop
though?
out.
I don't know. I just feel like it's ego. It's like sometimes
Yes.
we get in the
Yes, it
situation
is.
where like
I've done this.
I said some shit. Listen, we do this shit all the fucking time,
Yeah.
right? You say some shit and then you get all this backlash. And you're like, man, fuck all these people. I'm gonna stand on this shit to the end of time. But if it's not really what you feel, then what you standing on? Like you, I think are being the most honest. You, I think you got too much ego.
No,
and
It's
you're
not
not
ego
willing to
at
back
all. It's
off
just
on
that
that.
there's a lot of reading into this
corny.
clip from like a year ago of us
No,
just
bro,
having a
but
good time
you're
talking
making it
on
about the
pod.
clip. I'm making it about what you're saying right now.
Yes.
My preference is, which is honestly bullshit. It is, I don't want to date black girls. That's the way every black dude that fucks white girls says it. I've dated black girls in my life. All right, bro. Who the fuck hasn't except me? You know what I mean? Everybody gonna dabble in everything. It is the mentality that I have an issue with, and Alex is upset with the specific words, true, but underneath it, he's upset with the mentality. And the words bothered him, but I think the mentality would still be troublesome to him, where it's like, what is, I need a girl that's submissive. Like that's, if y'all are really trying to help men.
Nah, that shit is nice, bro. Because I
That's
got
nice.
one
That's
not,
nice.
and that's
it's nice,
difficult,
but it's a
bro.
lot of shit
So we love
that.
Asian
It's
girls.
difficult, bro.
No, that's fine. A lot of stuff you guys say in general, I think is stuff that's kind of childish. It is. I saw a clip where you were like, "Oh, the nuclear family's falling apart. What do you do? I don't get married. Just don't get married." You're actually trying to help men, or you talking to fucking incels who are 18 years old? You know what I mean? That's some shit you say to college. I'm gonna turn you from a simp to a pimp. All right, bro. Can we grow up? You
I
guys
mean,
are self-help.
if-
You are, hey, we're trying to help men. So either we're funny or help men and be real and be honest with yourselves and don't have an ego like, "Oh, I have a preference." Be honest. Have an honest conversation. And I don't think the manosphere or maniverse or whatever, I don't think it's a bad thing. I think there are people who are doing it really well. The roommates, Hafiz, that's who put me on to you guys. Great. But let's just be mature about what we feel. And part of that maturity is, yeah, it was a bad joke. I don't actually feel exactly that way.
I mean, if you guys feel that way, that's fine. But we
Respectfully.
make our content. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? People enjoy it. We make jokes on it. We provide entertainment. We provide education. We do everything, because if you just only provide, self-help stuff without any type of entertainment value, people
I
aren't
agree
gonna.
with that.
I think jokes are- I think
we,
it's a
we have
joke.
a good-
The
we have a
joke,
good time
again,
with it.
I don't have
No,
a problem with the
we have
joke.
a good
I'm
time
telling
with
you
it.
guys.
I think it's clear. I think
problem with the joke.
and I also would say this. I think it's very important that men learn certain skills, right? I think it's important that men learn how to fight. I think that it's important they learn how to talk, and I think it's important they learn how to
Make money.
have sex.
And sex.
Yeah, I mean that, like how to have sex with a woman, not literally the act, but like how to get a woman to the point where they want to have sex with them. I think these are really important, because I think the better that men are at those three things, the better they become as human beings. And I think when you're not, right, you're a bitter kind of fucking angry dude.
course.
So
School shooters.
I think real talk. That's what happens with the school.
That's-
And I want
Ain't
to
no
say
school
something
shooter
real
getting
quick
pussy.
too.
Like
As far as like the marriage and the incel thing, what we do is we provide guys information so they kind of go into dealing with women, especially in the West, in a way where they can protect themselves. Because marriage, even though it's a fantastic institution and we definitely believe in a nuclear family, the setup for it right now is not optimal because the divorce courts heavily, favor women.
Yep.
There's a lot of situations where guys can absolutely get destroyed from divorce and marriage. So we just tell guys, hey, go with your eyes wide open, understand the laws, understand the stats, and know what you're getting yourself into.
I think I don't have a problem with, I don't disagree with what Andrew said. The way I look at it is, you watch them you see them evolutionary charts from Neanderthal to Homo sapien.
Yeah.
Y'all are the first motherfucker out of Neanderthal. But grow with your audience, mature with your audience as you work on yourselves and add some nuance to what you're saying.
How old are you guys?
29.
29 and
I'm 31.
and 31. So you guys are adults. Like it's I think that like
I mean, hey, if you don't like the content, totally fine. A lot of people enjoy
I
it.
have respect for your hustle.
But,
I have respect for, again, you guys as guys, from what I've heard, are stand-up guys. So I don't want to be, if I'm crossing a line, that's my bad. And I also don't want to.
No, totally.
I also don't want to talk shit in an environment where I know I don't have to fight and just say whatever
totally
because
cool,
I
man.
can't fight. So I don't want to be a phony.
I think it's important to be able to come together, have differing opinions, have a discussion about it.
Yeah.
No big deal. And you might feel our content's immature. That's fine. A lot of guys enjoy it. We help a lot of guys out. We've saved a bunch of guys from hurting themselves. I don't want to say the word because we're on YouTube.
Yep.
Self-deletion. We get messages all the time about it. So
I think
we're making an impact.
I think that's something I think this is something important because like guys are going to reach out. Like I remember when I was young, right? Like there was a book that came out called The Game by a guy named Neil Strauss. Do you guys know? And this
Classic.
is like the pickup artist movement kind of really happened around this book. And it was and I remember reading the book and I remember like talking to my friends like, bro, you guys got to read this book. Like there are people who have actually like found the science of getting laid. And at first, it was like really exciting, right? It was like, oh my God, like they're like tools to this shit. It's not just rolling the dice every time you talk to a girl. Like there's things that you can actually do. And then eventually it was corny because I thought it was weird that if you thought you had so much value, you would have to devalue a woman for her to see value in you. And I was like, nah, this is whack. Like there's other ways to do it. Like if you actually have value, like she's going to figure that out if you spend enough time with her. That was at least my philosophy on the book, right? Like this idea that like you got to like hurt their feelings and shit. So all of a sudden they like you. It's like, if you think you're the shit, I don't got to hurt your feelings. If you truly believe in yourself, right? So I was like, all right, this is a little bit corny. But what I thought was really important about it is that it took certain guys who could never fucking get laid and got them to a point where they could get laid. And ideally with that tool, they could learn how to not misuse it. And I think that's the same with like dudes who don't know how to fight. They want to posture up and beat up everybody, right?
Yep.
And if you go to a fucking boxing gym, never one of those dudes try to start a fight with you.
And I'll say this, what our channel does is like we help guys prepare themselves to kind of like
You don't think so,
deal
Al?
with women
No,
in general.
not at all.
I actually thought of that
Have you
book.
been to a boxing gym?
No. I'm talking about that book.
I thought about that
Do you
book
think
with
people
this
are really going to
specifically.
learn those tools and then have the wherewithal to learn not to misuse it?
I think at the end
they're
of
gonna
the
get
day,
pussy and then continue.
What I'm saying is like when you first start boxing, like you start hitting the mitts and you look good in the
No, I
fucking
get
mitts.
that.
Like you in the bar, like ready. And then eventually you spar a little bit, you get humbled, right? And then you learn and you actually spar and you start humbling other people and you're like, okay, I feel confident enough in myself. I don't need to misuse this power. And I think when you first start to get laid, you're like, oh shit, I could like have sex with women. I go out to the bar and it's kind of like up to me. Holy shit, this is fucking amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think eventually you start going, okay, I don't need to kind of misuse this in a crazy way. I'm feeling something else. Or you start, if you're really honest with yourself, you find out what you're feeling with that
I
pussy.
think
Because you gotta.
some people make that realization. Others might never and just continue to use those coercion techniques to get women. And then that's why women think so shitty of those types of
And
men.
I will say this in their
And then
defense, that is
paint
kind
men
of
with that whole picture.
But that's not their responsibility.
that's-
Exactly. Like
They're
I mean,
still
but they
they're still
did-
probably
yeah.
helping more people than they hurt. I do think as you have sustained listeners, they're gonna. Again, the end of the book is why I thought of them. The end of the book, whether it's cap or not, the guy basically just realizes it's kind of empty.
In today's dating marketplace, the way dating is between men and women, girls have a crazy upper hand. You know what I'm saying? And we've talked about this with how the world's changed with Instagram, online dating apps, etc. Women really have all their leverage when it comes to dating and relationships nowadays. So what we teach guys is to kind of go into this fight that you're talking about and be prepared. Most women are using rocket launchers and guys are going in there either
Knives.
bare fists or with butter knives, right? They don't really know what they're doing. So we tell them, listen, man, you got to understand how women operate, how they think, etc. And a lot of girls finesse guys. So we teach guys female nature, how to understand how women communicate versus how men communicate, how to get what you want out of relationships without getting finessed. Because the thing between men and women is that men are trying to get sex, women are trying to get money, time, attention, resources, whatever. And both genders are leveraging, right, their asset to get the other commodity from the other without necessarily giving up their asset. Men want to get the box without necessarily having to go on dates and spend money. Girls want to get the money and the dates without necessarily giving up box. So it's a delicate dance between the two where you're going to try to, you know, get what you want out of dating. And unfortunately, most guys don't know how to navigate this properly, you know? So that's what we teach guys, to basically fight fire with fire, because girls are playing the game. Girls are finessing guys. You know, we have a whole sugar daddy epidemic going on right now. We have got a bunch of girls finessing dudes. So we teach guys how to fight fire with fire, honestly. And, you know, you got to know what you're doing when you deal with women, because they're playing the game. So you got to play it as well.
But here's the thing. I got to get pushed back on that
hard.
because here's the thing. I don't think that every girl that you're meeting is trying to finesse. I do understand what you're saying. Not every. And I think most, to be honest with you, like if you're charming and you're down to have a good time and have fun, they want to have fun too. I think most women are dealing with such boring guys that if you're an actual guy that's funny and entertaining, their eyes light up and they're so down to enjoy your time and your company. And I think most women are actually entering these relationships insecure. They're going to fuck it up. They're going to be, oh, am I going to be too clingy? Should I not call him every 3 days? I think it's actually like to a guy's detriment to think of women as these people that you're fighting, so to say. Like, these women are more nervous than you. Once a woman likes you, she's terrified she's going to fuck it up. She's calling her friends. She's calling her father. She's calling her mother.
Andrew, you got to get to that point. So like,
that point is a 30-minute conversation. She's like, I'm going to marry this guy.
Hold on. Here's the thing. Most dudes are invisible to most girls.
Yeah.
Women only see a small percentage of men.
Top guys.
Most guys are virtually invisible to them. That's the reality.
So I think if you enter in with that mentality, that's how you're gonna see it. But I think if you enter with the mentality like nobody should be invisible to me, I'm the fucking shit, that girl's gonna figure that out.
Of course, but we gotta accept reality.
Yeah,
that
reality.
That is reality.
That is reality.
So let me just add this, right?
Yeah.
So your point of view is from your experience, right?
Yeah.
We talk to guys and girls every night, every single day. We're actually in the dating field every day, dating apps, sugar sites. We're in there, in the field, learning real time. So when we give advice regarding this topic, bro, it's like we're in the field with girls right now.
In Miami.
So like his experience and him saying this is because we see guys suffering that, you know the hardest part? They don't know what to do. They're out here.
I
they want to
agree.
get girls. They know what to do. So I'm not
So
a
you
girl
teach them to trick girls into giving them pussy?
A girl that's capable and knows what she's doing.
That's unfair.
Meets a guy that doesn't know what he's doing. She's gonna take advantage. It's just human nature.
Well, why? I don't think she'll take advantage, to be honest with you. I think she just won't be interested. And I think that if we look at
That's
women,
the problem, though.
Yeah, but if we look at women like predators, that's a bad perception for a guy who's trying to find a woman that he wants to marry. Like for me, I'm trying to find a girl I want to marry, right? So I can't go into a relationship with someone that I'm about to trust with my life and my kid's life as, oh, this girl's a predator. She's trying to get over me. She's trying to figure it out, right? I have to go in open, and then I actually have to go in going, oh my shit, do I really like this girl? Is this person I want to spend the rest of my life with? I know that she would want to spend the rest of her life with me because I'm a great guy.
Well, we tell guys to go in with you know,
Open
defense.
mind.
And here's the thing too, guys.
Yeah.
But why are they so defensive? Why are they scared? It's like,
you gotta be aware.
So we're in a unique position.
It's not the forest, bro.
We're in a
You're
very
the
unique...
lion, but you teaching them like they the fucking gazelle.
Yeah.
Like we the lions out here, bro.
So here's the thing. So we're in a very unique position because we talk to thousands of guys.
Yeah.
And we also talk, at this point, we've interviewed well over 1,000 girls on our podcast.
Yeah.
And there's been some things that have come up that made me realize, okay, this is why we have these issues with dating. The reality is this, I'm going to boil it down for y'all. Most women are delusional of where they think they stand, and most guys underrepresent themselves of where they think. So girls have an overinflated sense of ego for the most part, because we ask them all the time. We actually have a delusion calculator we use. And we ask them, hey, what type of guy are you looking for? And when they put in their ideal man, every single time, he's in the top 1% pretty much. Very rare, you know? We're talking well over 6 feet, over $100,000 per year, not married, not obese, etc.
Not weird.
Yeah. So
You asked the ideal.
no, of course, but they all think that they deserve that as well, is what I'm trying to say. They say that's what they want, and they feel that they deserve it as well.
Don't you guys
Right?
think you deserve your preferences?
Yeah.
No.
Here's problem. Good.
So, but these girls are not necessarily in a position to demand that kind of man when there's not enough of these guys to go around. You get what I'm saying? And then the thing is with that guy is that guy has the leverage, not necessarily the women, because once you get to a certain point as a guy, you now actually have the leverage where you're the commodity versus her. You know, she's just an attractive younger girl, but there's plenty of girls like that. So that's what we've kind of found in the
Y'all
dating
didn't have
place.
broke
And
friends that got pussy growing up?
here's the thing: they might get girls
Like-
or whatever, but are they going to be able to keep them? Are they going to be able to
I had a
consistently
friend.
maintain
We had
them?
a friend that he was my roommate. He would walk out of the
Yeah.
house every day with an old hoodie with a mustard stain on it. And the guy got tons of pussy.
Bro, I was getting tons of pussy, living with my parents, walking them into the living room, seeing my mom drink Bud Lights.
Here's a problem.
Like, is this idea that like it's so hard to get laid and all this? That's the fallacy. The fallacy is that they're not as equally as nervous. What they are is bored. Women are bored with corny fucking pickup lines and shit. But teaching guys that they got to be terrified and they're these fucking monsters, these predators. Just like, man up, stop being a bitch.
We don't tell guys to be terrified. Nah. We tell them to go in and understand how women think, how they operate, and put yourself in a defensive position where you're vetting the girl.
Yeah, but that's his point. Why are you in a defensive position? Sorry, you're right.
Yeah, so you gotta basically put yourself in a position where she's complying to you. She's qualifying to you. Most guys come in thinking, oh man, I hope she likes me. Let me get the girl. Yep. What we tell guys is you need to come in and be like, take it or fucking leave it, and then have her comply to you. Because when a woman is following your lead and a woman is feel like she's qualifying to you,
should have standards.
That's when she's attractive. But most guys don't come from that angle. They come from a scarcity mindset.
Because they're desperation,
and let me prove myself to her, blah, blah, blah. They kind of fall into the Disney fairy tale.
We should prove ourselves initially. We have to. They have the pussy. If we don't prove ourselves, we can't enter. That's the game.
Here's the thing. I respectfully disagree with that to a degree. I disagree. Because she's going to know that from
like
meeting and talking
with you without you willing to have sex with me.
But that's done with your existence. Like, that's just from your energy, the way you operate, the way you speak to her, your tonality, your confidence, your leadership. She's going to see that just off of messing with you. You don't necessarily have to brag about what you do.
No, I never said brag.
Yeah.
I said she's going to learn just from being around you. Of course not. Of course not. She's going to learn from being around you who you are.
Exactly.
And ideally, there are things that you can do to like expedite that process. So there are certain dudes who like, they might need to be friends for a month. And then that girl starts to realize, oh my God, this is a fucking really quality guy. And he was a little nervous and weird when I first met him, but he stayed true and he wasn't building my fucking cabinets and doing all this shit. He was just a fucking good guy. And now I realize it. And then there's some dudes that are going to be charismatic and within 5 minutes. All of a sudden that girl's going to be like, oh my God, this guy's so much fun.
We tell guys never be in a friend zone. Get out.
Yeah. That's real, Andrew. Think about it, right?
I think I agree with you. I don't
have a problem with that.
I think that that's smart. I think the problem with the friend zone is I think with guys is dishonest on our behalf.
Yeah, very for sure.
I don't think you should ever lie about your intent, but I think that you can respect if that person isn't interested. But as long as you continue to know, like, hey, listen, I like you and I think that you're great, and if you don't like me, that's fine. I'm not going to put any pressure. But please know, like, that's why I want to hang out with you.
But let's be real here. When a girl meets you for the first time, right? She already knows if she's gonna fuck you or not.
Facts.
So you playing games with her. Oh, let's see what happens, bro. She already knows.
I think that's some shit we say. I don't think that's
true.
Not true. Matter of fact, I have another friend, not a great looking guy. Shouts to Rel Battle. I hope you're watching. He said every girl I've ever fucked said I didn't think I was gonna fuck you. Yep. And he goes, I know.
Well, every girl. There might be exceptions to the rules, but most average guys struggle with women. And the thing is that from us talking with thousands of men, and at this point, well over 1,000 women on our podcast, average women, girls that are very average, expect that they deserve a man that's well above average.
Good,
and that's kind of where it's skewed.
Aren't you teaching men to expect the same thing?
To what do you mean? As far as like to get the best?
You're not teaching men to expect mediocrity. You're teaching men to expect the best thing. So what's wrong with these girls wanting to expect more?
No, they can have their standards, but man, come on, let's be honest.
Be delusional in life. Yeah, exactly. When y'all decide to have a podcast, right? But think, when you decide to have a podcast and enter this podcast in space, right? Mm-hmm. You were delusional in your ability to believe in yourselves. You're like, oh shit, we're going to create content that other podcasts, other blogs are talking about. We're going to put an imprint on this space. That's delusion, and it worked. Delusion is America. Everybody should be delusional.
The American dream is delusion.
Of course. Every girl should go in there going, I should have the best fucking guy. Every guy should be, I have the best fucking girl. Fuck being realistic. I ain't got nothing in my life from being realistic. Real talk. My parents got nothing in their life from being realistic. I'll never be realistic once in my entire life.
Here's the problem. You got women 40 plus with no kids, with cats and dogs, home miserable. Why is that? Delusional. At some point, you have to be realistic.
No, there's other reasons. It's not delusion.
No, they are.
But it's not their delusion that makes them.
Their standards. They're crazy.
Yeah, they might actually have issues in their life.
Girls that are young have these same standards too. And the thing is, they go through life living their 20s, having fun, but then when they get 30 plus, like, wait, I can't find a man. Why is that?
But what's the problem? They can't get married. The institution that y'all don't even want to partake in.
No, they believe in. You guys believe in nuclear family.
The problem is, for sure. Like these women nowadays, bro. Like I'm telling you, bro. You think it's all sugar and spice, but like they want to get lit, have fun, enjoy their 20s, but without any type of like responsibility. And then when they want to find a man, it's like, wait, I've been hoeing around doing this dumb shit, but I can't find a man. Why is that?
Most women that I know want to be married by 27. Like, and again, I'm a little older than you guys, right?
And Miami might be a little different.
And exactly, culturally it might be different. Miami's a wild town, right? And I mean, we lived there for 4 months, and I even found myself going like, I want a boat. Like I never thought that in my life.
I'm buying,
you know what I'm saying?
buying one soon.
Exactly. But like you get caught up in it. It's just part of what it is, right? You get caught up in the value system. And that's just who we are as human beings, right? So I get that. And you guys might be around, like the girls that you're talking to might also be there going, okay, the guy with the boat and the AP and he's got the bottles and all that kind of shit. So their mind is a little bit warped as well. You know what I mean? But I wouldn't say that's every girl.
No, we never said every.
Not every girl.
But I would say a large percentage of young, attractive women in the United States, especially if they're in a major city, have an overinflated sense of self-worth.
New York too.
But
Miami.
It's
how about
crazy.
this?
LA?
How about this? We're already going like attractive, right? So we're already taking like maybe top 10% of women, right? So now we
more
got
than that, man.
What is it like top 20%?
Like most guys would smash most girls.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They'd find them cute enough.
Even
like, they'd find
BBWs.
them-
Oh,
yeah.
Because I think that like if you're talking about like the top 10% of women, like of course they're gonna have a delusion. We talk about all the time. Like an attractive woman is essentially a celebrity, and celebrities are also delusional, right? Like women get into clubs free, right? They get it. They have people buy them shit
But I'm
all the
saying
fucking
even
time.
average chicks have this ego.
Here's the biggest problem.
Like even
So-
average girls. as well.
See, I think that's cap, bro.
No.
And I think we gotta call them out. I think we gotta call them out on cap because I bet a lot of these girls that say that, I bet a lot of them are like, man, I'd really like a guy to fucking love me and like settle
Here's
down.
the problem
man.
though, social media. Girls that are in Idaho, Bucktown, friggin' Jersey, wherever, can get flown out to Miami, LA, Dubai. So the problem is that like social media changed
Ain't nobody
the game.
flying a girl from Idaho to Dubai.
Yeah,
though.
come on, bro. You acting
Bro.
like 90% of Idaho getting flued out.
Bro,
Son, these girls in Dubai, I mean, these dudes in Dubai got money, bro.
we're in Miami. They're coming to Miami too. I'm telling you, bro.
Yeah.
The whole dating market has changed because of social media, especially Instagram. It's
changed
different
a
now.
lot,
bro.
I believe that. I believe it's changed, but it doesn't.
And we got to take ourselves because we're all influencers. People know who we are, whatever.
Yeah.
You got to put your because here's the thing. We came from regular jobs and stuff. I used to work in law enforcement.
Nobody's.
He was in tech. So like before we were like famous, I guess, so to speak. Not even really, but like
whatever.
it was different. Like dating as a regular guy versus like
It was
now.
fun, man.
So like, and we were able to see it from even then. Like, oh wow, like these girls have a lot of options. Like if you look at a girl's DMs, man, that's gonna make you realize like, oh crap,
It's
like, who
different
they're
out
talking
here.
to. Average girls are talking to like A-list celebrities, man. It's crazy.
Dude,
It's wild.
I was at
it's very
I
common.
was at Drake's party, right?
But they also know what time it is. Sorry to cut you.
Yeah.
They also know what time it is, right? Like that the girl who's going to Drake's party is not going there going like, I think I'll marry Drake. She's going there going, I'm going to party with Drake. Maybe some shit goes down, but I know this is not going to really happen. And deep down, I would trade all this shit to have a fucking husband.
Here's the problem though. The guy
I truly believe
the
that.
guy that will be her husband, she's dissing him for Future and Drake. And even though she might want the husband, bro, she's gonna follow Drake to the end of the earth
Here's the one more thing
for,
too.
for a chance.
Here's the other thing
We
too.
hang out with different girls, bro.
Well,
I mean,
once a girl deals with a guy of a certain status,
Yep.
it's very difficult for her to go back, so socioeconomically and status-wise, and deal with a regular guy. That's what I'm trying to say. So, like, an average girl gets exposed to a certain lifestyle, certain
How many
caliber of
women
guy.
do you think Drake is fucking?
It's very difficult. A bunch.
Like, there's
he might be fucking
I ain't
enough.
saying
No,
nothing.
but to his point, real
but
quick,
it's very
I think-
difficult for them to regress socioeconomically and from a status standpoint.
You're 100% right,
You know what I'm
but
saying?
like I think a lot of those girls are the side pieces of a famous person, and that's not hard to regress from. Matter of fact, they might look at it as pushing forward if they got a guy who's still doing well, but at least you just not sitting in this fucking hotel room while this famous dude is out here with his wife, and then he comes to you for 15 minutes. You basically just a hole for him to ejaculate in.
Yeah.
Right. So I think those girls who realize that position, they're like, I don't really want this. I'm not trying to be a forever side chick. They would love to settle down. Love to have a family, and they way prefer that.
Only problem though is that he said that experience, bro. Like they'll marry
Taste them, man.
They'll marry the dude and still go with the celebrity. So it's kind of like a double-edged sword. Yeah, they may want that.
I need to take y'all out, man. Meet
Bro,
some nice
around
girls,
girls
man.
every
I need
day,
to take
man.
y'all meet some nice, sweet girls who don't care about this
we
shit.
have. We got some in the back pocket, but like, bro, I'm telling you, it's not easy to find.
We talk to women every day. We have panels of between 5 to 15 girls on our pod.
we're gonna
every
digress.
night,
How many of
every
them
night.
went to college, bro?
Yeah.
A lot.
Almost all of them.
They call it right now sugar daddies, all that shit. It's crazy,
Almost
bro.
all of them.
Now that sugar daddy shit is happening. Now
It's
that shit is
real.
real. I ain't gonna
It's
front. That
real.
shit is real. That shit is real.
Bro,
that shit is
we're
real.
in the dating
Yeah.
market every single day
not new.
doing the thing live, bro.
No, there's no question. I know you're talking to a lot of guys. I'm just trying to. I don't want you guys to be so disillusioned, man. Because
No, I'm happy, bro. I'm happy to know the truth. Because now I'm free. Before I was like,
this ain't
okay.
the Matrix.
Son, this red
No,
pill ass.
it is. It is, bro. You guys off the Matrix. Come on, Matrix, bro. Take the red pill. Take the red pill. Wake up.
The red pill for pussy.
Exactly. No, I'm just saying, like, when we're so locked in our bubbles, man, oftentimes it's like we attract the things that we talk about. I don't mean that in terms of some secret shit, but like the girls that are probably going to hit y'all up
And
are
wanna
not
be on
gonna
the podcast.
and want to be on the podcast. And not even like, even the girls who are like, it's fucked up what you guys say. Like, I'm so different. Like, let's go hang out.
Yeah.
They're also, remember, they're also trying to find their emotional comfort zone, right? Their preference also. They believe they deserve a guy who has the feelings you have about them. You see what I'm saying? Because their comfort zone is, I'm a predator. Maybe I ain't shit. I need a guy to kind of treat me as if we're fighting over this thing of dominance, right? So the girls that are reaching out to y'all don't even realize that their fucked up mentality is going to persist the belief you guys have about women. You're not having some girl going to church on Sundays hitting y'all up like, hey, let me take you to church, see what's happening.
That's 1,000 girls you talk to. There's 190 million in the U.S. You know what I mean? Like, you hit a very specific cross section in Miami. Girls who are going to want to come on this podcast, want to talk to you guys, look for validation. That's not even the average woman.
Hold on.
But we bring in a lot of girls from
all
different
over the
places.
world.
Girls flying to come on the show.
Canada, America,
They're still-
Europe.
But they still want clout, right? They still on the show
Yes.
because they want some exposure.
Yes.
Actually, sometimes just like her friends say, "Yo, come on the show." She doesn't know what she's coming into. It's just random.
Oh,
like,
fuck.
Yeah,
so,
man.
So
Like-
it's not just Miami girl. I'm telling you, bro. It's
Yeah,
all
they
over
come
the
from
world.
all over, man.
We're not trying to discredit the pool that you're going from. That's not what
Yeah.
I'm trying to do. And I'm not really trying to discredit any of your work or any of that kind of stuff. I'm having a conversation with you guys, 100%. I just want you guys to believe that like there are women out there that you would go, man, this person I want to have a family with. I mean, I'm married. Akash is married. Mark is married, right?
Yeah.
Like Dove is trying desperately to get married, right? So it's just like, it's possible. Now, granted, we might call you in 10 years and be like, y'all were fucking right. You know what I'm saying? But, and let me be
We've had
wrong.
clients like that.
Let me be wrong and I'll call you. But for right now,
Yeah.
I think the feeling that we have, I want you to at least know that it's out there and we're not necessarily outliers, because that might also shift your perspective on like, one, the girls that you're talking to, but two, the advice that you're giving. Right?
Question. How long have you been?
I literally
with your
got
girl?
married weeks ago.
Weeks ago?
Yeah.
How
Yeah,
long have you been with her?
3 years?
3 years?
6 years.
7, 8 now.
Are you
Yeah, I'm in
married
a
too?
relationship. 2 years.
2 years. So like things have changed significantly over the past like 5 to 10 years with like the emergence of online dating apps, social media and stuff like that. So things have changed a lot. And I get what you're saying. I'm not saying, guys, that all these girls are terrible. Oh my God. I'm not saying that.
Yeah.
I'm simply telling guys,
Be
especially
aware.
guys that have something to lose, that got money, that got, status or whatever it is, just play defensive, because like you have a lot more to lose when you get in a relationship with a girl, especially if you're getting married in today's day and age with the way the divorce courts are set up, family court,
Don't
etc.
I know it?
You know what I'm saying? So that's all I'm saying is that I want guys to go in with their eyes wide open and understand that you don't want to get into a contract necessarily with someone that's incentivized to break it. And that's what marriage is nowadays,
But
unfortunately.
even before marriage, like just like dating in general,
Yeah.
You don't think that it'd be like cool perspective if you had a relationship with someone you really believed in and like had different values than a lot of these girls that you've been talking to and even dating? Maybe it'd give good perspective for the people that follow you and trust you, because they'd be like, oh shit, Myron's dating this girl and he says that they're completely different than these fucking these clout chasing whores that they talk about on the podcast. And I know that some of them are out there just for clout. You know what I mean? And of course, they're going to be the worst version, but there's going to be some good. And I'm saying that might create a perspective and an expectation that these guys should have. They should have an expectation there's a good girl out there that they deserve, But if it's said as if it's not, man, like, oh, what a terrifying way to date. You might as well just have sex with them and leave them if there's no way that you could build a future with them.
Hey man, go to Colombia or Eastern Europe.
I mean,
You'll be fine.
I just say it's a lot of modern day women have just certain bad habits that, might not necessarily be conducive to a good relationship and or marriage.
Right.
Is what it is. So we tell guys, like, if you are going to get in a relationship with chicks, that come from
You gonna
the
get
Western
married, bro.
general-
I already know
Me?
it. You gonna get married in 3 years,
I'm gonna
bro.
take some steps to do it. I ain't
3
gonna do it
years,
here.
you're gonna be married,
I'm not gonna do it here.
locked up,
We're invited, though.
twins.
I'm coming.
Yeah, I'm coming to the wedding, and I'm speaking at that shit
You
too.
know what?
I'm speaking at that fucking wedding. I'm bringing all this shit
No,
back up.
I've only been to.
It'll be in the Middle East.
I think
Black girl too. It's
no.
gonna be black Sudanese.
Well, this is something I wanted. This is a digression from this,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
it's something I wanted to bring up earlier, which is you're gonna say I prefer not dating black girls, but then you'll bring those same girls on your podcast and get views off of them and get money off of them. Explain to me how, and genuinely explain. I'm not trying to ask a rhetorical question. How is that not fucked up?
See, that goes to the same question. We don't like black girls, so why are they on the show?
To make money off of them and exploit them.
We don't need them to make money at all.
Your clips with the black girls where there's controversy are considerably more views
We
than
don't
your other
make them
clips.
act how they act. That's just how
Yeah,
they
it's
act.
live, man. It's a live show.
We do it live.
No.
You want this, right, bro?
They don't barge into your studio unannounced and then invite themselves in the podcast.
They wanna come on the
and
show.
You let them on, bruh.
Black, white, Asian, come on the show. We got
Bruh,
you.
you want to come on this podcast? You hit up Andrew. If I didn't want you on, you wouldn't be on. We have say. It's our podcast. It's your podcast. You could easily say, no, I don't want them on. I don't fuck with these hood girls, whatever, like that. So I just don't want to deal with you. Period. I think it's a little bit trying to have your cake and eat it too.
I get what I said.
To say,
I think it was a little. I think it's a little bit aggressive, the question, but I do understand.
I see where it's coming from. I'll answer it.
Yeah.
So we actually have a team that does it for us. So we don't actually deal with the girls. We actually have people that do it for us, that cast the girls to come on the show, and then they come and we meet them and then we do the show, and everything is live. So there's no improv or edits or anything like that.
I guess what he's saying.
So we have a team that does it for us. That
But
brings them on.
you could also like in dating, you could also set a standard for the girls that you want to have on the pod, and I guess what you're saying is like you're having these girls that act in a way that you don't like. Why continue to have them?
you're gonna make money
Which I
off
think
of
is
them,
a reasonable
but then say,
question.
I just don't date these types of girls. But I'll have them on. Let's have some controversy. Let's make some money. Let me eat off of you. But I would never date you.
And also, just real quick.
And I think, I think it's kind of foul to say, oh, we don't choose those girls. You're their bosses. Whoever finds them, y'all are the
Before
bosses.
every show, we give everyone a fair warning. Hey guys, please be respectful on the show. One mic at a time. Black, white, Asian, doesn't matter. A fair, equal understanding. This is how the show runs. If they act out, that's not on us. And it is live. Our producer finds the girls. Hey, black, white, Asian, we don't care. You want to come on the show? Plug your stuff. We got you.
Is your producer your boss or are you your producer's boss?
Sorry?
That's what I think is kind
He's
of.
saying that you are at the end of the day, you're the boss of the show. You
You
dictate
are.
everything that goes
You're
on.
Fresh
in the
Prince
show.
CEO, bro. You're not Fresh Prince W2.
So here's the thing. We actually,
I know that. But my thing is like, if I want to bring girls on, why not?
because I would never date this person. I don't like people like
My
that.
dating preference and coming on the show, what does that have to do with
You don't
anything?
think it's a little foul to exploit those people that you would never, ever
It's
actually
not
have
exploit
interest
if they
in?
want to come on the show.
yeah, they a lot of the time they
Your
come,
opinion
they ask,
of
or
us
they want to
exploiting
come on.
them is your opinion. They have fun on the show. Cool. What's
Well,
wrong with that?
another thing too, I'll say is that we have our producer do it, so we delegate that authority to him because it's very time consuming to get the girls on, make sure they don't flake, book enough, organize their travel, talk to them on Instagram, whatever it may be. So we have people that do it for us. So when they show up, Chris, our producer, shout out to him. He basically tells them, "Hey guys, this is how the show goes." He gives them all the rules, etc., and they're okay with it. And then we come on the show, and then we'll have our discussions. And sometimes they get in their emotions from some of the things we say. They get mad. They might have a eruption, whatever, and then we tell them, "Hey, you got to go." But I will say this: we kick out a small minority of the women that actually come on, and
Minority
we
is
kick out
the key word there, I think.
a small minority. I mean, minority as in minority both as in the volume of the girls, and we've kicked out white girls, Spanish girls. Last week we kicked out, I think, a Hispanic girl, or a white girl. Like it's not we only purposely try to kick out African American women. It's not like that. We kick all races out if they act crazy. So that's what it comes down
Men
to.
and women, by the way.
Yeah,
That's fine. I just think it sounds a bit right now like Jerry Springer's like, I don't book the guests. Yeah, but you know what the show is, bro. It's your show. Yeah.
There's
Of course,
there's a legit criticism.
but we trust
for,
Chris to do that for us.
Yeah.
For like
Chris. Shout out to Chris.
Dr. Phil. I think I've heard this criticism for him before, which is just like he moonlights as this person that's trying to like help people who have mental illness and like who have these issues, but at the same time he's like selling ads off of them and he's kind of like exploiting them, So it's like I get that he's looked at as heroic. It's like, oh, I'm going to tell this like naughty teenager, she better get her act together in front of her mom. And look, I did the right thing, and the audience claps. But in reality, it's like you needed that naughty teenager. And you got a producer going, get me a naughty ass teenager so I could curse at him type of thing. So I can see that criticism of you guys. Yeah. That being said, I think you'd be looked at even more racist if you've never had a black girl on the podcast. So I don't know if that's the solution.
Man, I just came from the rally.
We're changing it
from
up.
the rally.
No more black
Only white girls and Hispanic girls.
Yeah, come on, man. Half the time I walk in, I gotta hide the hood when I walk in. Oh wait, we got black girls on the show. All right, good. They won't know. But like, yeah, man, we bring all different types of girls on. Some act crazy, some don't. From all different types of races. We kicked every race off, from Asian to white to black, whatever. It just so happens sometimes, we've kicked some of the black girls out. They say, "World star bitch," and they go crazy, and those go viral. It is what it is. But we can't control that, man.
Yeah.
What's the idea? Okay, so here's a question for guys in your situation, right? Because you guys have been getting so much attention online.
Yeah.
Crazy.
And do you ever go, okay, attention is the economy now, right? And that is very important. Do you ever go, okay, we have to monitor what type of attention we get? Like, would you also want to get some attention for when a kid literally was like, dude, I was going to kill myself before you guys started talking to me, and now I don't want to do that anymore?
We get that a lot, but we don't share it.
But that's the thing, right? It's like, I wonder if some of the stuff that you guys say that you're criticized for would be way more digestible. And I'm not saying that you should try to like monetize those experiences, but I wonder like, if people knew that there were people that were being helped, which you guys know because you guys get those personal DMs.
So I got something for that.
Yeah.
So we have a call-in show on Fridays.
Yeah.
Right, where we actually like open up the phone lines and have people call in.
Yeah.
And like a week ago, we had a guy call in like, "Hey man, I was really in a dark place. I was gonna do X, Y, Z to myself, and you guys really brought me back." And he went and talked about it, and we interact with our audience, and we do so on Mondays we have a Money Monday, Wednesdays we have a Womanizer Wednesdays where we talk about dating. Mondays is we talk about real estate investing, credit, making money, whatever it may be, entrepreneurship.
You just
and then
asking
fitness,
for it.
And then Fitness Fridays, right?
for it.
Yeah, I know.
And that's
then
Gentleman
Fitness Fridays.
Wednesdays.
And then we
it
also
could
do
be
the
anything. How to get a wife Wednesday.
And then
Beat
we also
bitches up Wednesday.
and then we also have a Fitness Friday as well. So like we do a lot of the stuff that goes viral obviously is the nighttime shows with the girls, Fresh and Fit
Right.
after hours.
Yes.
But our regular show, we do the self-improvement stuff. And a lot of guys call in and tell their stories and everything. But, of course, it's not going to go viral when a guy calls in and says, "Hey, man, you guys helped me from hurting
So
myself."
how do you guys balance that, right? Like, because my assumption is you want the show to be more than that. You want the show to be more than like the Jerry Springer, like the train wreck, because you're putting so much more time into the other things.
Yeah.
Right? You have a specific day episode at least dedicated to being in shape.
Yeah.
So how do you balance it? And are you concerned about balancing it, or are you in a growth period right now where you're like, listen, as long as people are watching, that's fine, then we'll figure that out.
So I think the audience kind of like dictates because we put out the content and they don't watch that as much per se. They watch the late night shows with girls. However, they get a lot of value from it. So they'll tune in, get value, go make some money, whatever, go conquer the world. And then like, okay, let's see the ratchet shit at nighttime.
Yeah, and the other thing too is that like, so we'll do the nighttime show, right? And that'll like get a lot of clicks because they'll be like, "Oh wow, this is good stuff." And then a lot of them will say, "Oh wait, they make other content," and then they'll come in and they'll watch our Money Mondays. They'll see when we bring Grant Cardone on or Robert Kiyosaki and we talk about real estate because I'm big in real estate investing myself.
Yeah.
So they'll see that like, okay, wow, you guys offer a lot more value. So they might come for the girls but stay for the content. And if we get them like that, awesome, because now they can self-improve and watch the other more meaningful self-improvement stuff. But the nighttime stuff, even though people say it's Jerry Springer and all that other stuff, there are a lot of good lessons in it. We have debates about intersexual dynamics, male versus female, dating, etc. And guys get to see kind of real time how a lot of women think, because even though we say not all girls are the same or whatever, even though the hardware might be different, a lot of the software is the same. And women from the West in general have a certain way of thinking when it comes to how they deal with men, etc. And a lot of guys are able to see that real time in 1080p. Live. And I think it's a lot of guys learn from that about, how women operate.
I think there's
in general.
definitely a lot to learn, but I do think that there are different. I think there is a more diversity in women's intentions than you guys are demonstrating.
I mean, we can agree to disagree.
That's what I push
disagree.
back. There is no question there
worries.
are girls out here trying to dig gold, bro. There's no question. And there's no question there are girls who are predators out here. We know them. It's very popular. But I do think that there are plenty of women that literally have day jobs, want to have a family, have no interest going to a fucking nightclub after
Majority
25 years old. They want to sit home. They want to watch the fucking Salt Lake Housewives, and they actually watch it thinking those girls are idiots. Like, I think that this is probably the majority of chicks.
Yeah. No, of course. And we're not saying they're, I want to make this
and that's
very
what I
clear.
want
We're not
y'all
saying
to
they're
know,
predators.
man.
We're not saying they're predators. What I'm saying is that guys need to understand how women think and operate in modern day dating is all I'm saying. Because most guys have no idea.
No clue.
They think women are sugar and spice and everything nice and she'll never do anything to me and she's not capable of that or whatever. And we just want guys to understand that she is capable of doing this to you. So operate correctly.
The stories
So
that we
put
hear,
yourself
bro,
in a bad
are
spot.
heartbreaking. Like, you guys have no idea what men go through on a daily basis. It's terrible,
It's really
bro.
bad.
It's terrible.
We've been men our life.
Yeah.
We've had
but
bad
like
regular
dates.
guys,
It's regular guys,
You know what I mean?
facts. Average
We were
Joes.
regular at one point in our lives.
I was
you know what
fat
I mean?
and ugly.
Some of us more regular than others, I'm very regular.
All right, can I bring up stats then for you guys to discuss? Because you are talking about modern dating and dating apps. So Hinge, the dating app, millions of folks. It's not like Raya where you have to be a member. It's every type of guy and girl. They revealed statistics. The top 1% of guys are swiped 16% of the time. That means that girls are going after that. The bottom 50% of guys are getting 4% of likes.
Damn.
So what is the answer to get the normal guy, everyday guy back in the room where, you can build up confidence in a nice way and they can be in a bar and go the traditional route when most people are meeting this way, or they're in college where you have time to meet someone. So these are the stats.
What's the inverse statistics with bad bitches and...
What's up?
Yeah, guys swipe on everyone.
It's actually the women.
Yeah, they swipe on everyone.
No, the
trying
top
to fuck.
1% of women, it's 11%. So in all the categories, it's men give women more of a chance, and they're going after
because
that. But
we're
these
looking
girls,
after different things. We're looking for a guy's not swiping necessarily like there's plenty of girls you'll swipe on. You, Dove, looking for a wife and being like, I wouldn't marry, but I fuck her.
So take away the number split between girls and guys, but go to how do people
Dove's
deal with
frustration? Dove has slept with the hottest women on the planet. Now, you might not look at him and be like, "Oh God, this is the guy." This is the guy. Literally,
I don't judge my looks.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
He gets fucked by dating apps because, do you know what I mean? His advantage is charisma.
Yeah.
He's amazing at just talking and is making those connections, making them feel really comfortable. And he's just a great guy, like an incredible social IQ, literally incredible. Dating apps is just pictures, and it's a meat market. And I think that we're all a little bit shallow when we're on the dating app because that's all we have to go off of.
Yeah.
So a guy like him kind of gets fucked with it, but in person, it's unbelievable. So I would tell all those guys that feel like they're getting fucked with it, work on that tongue. Because most people's tongues are trash now because they don't have to use it. They're just texting on this fucking app, trying to say something witty and then do it. Get in there, talk to people.
Andrew, here's the biggest problem. Those girls that go to work, watch the soap operas, hit the gym and go to bed, they're not going outside.
Break into their homes.
Hold on.
Break
They're on
into their
dating
homes,
apps,
fresh.
sugar
Yeah.
sites.
I got a mask, actually.
Meeting guys that look a certain way. So him, who never even meet them.
And
Yeah.
I'll
That's the problem.
I'll back them up.
That's a problem.
Since dating apps came out,
Yeah.
going out where a guy like me, find the same guy now,
Yeah.
there were girls that were excited to meet groups of guys. You can
Yeah,
go
people
and
don't
chat.
really
You can
go
do it.
out to
That
connect.
has
Yeah,
gone
yeah.
down tremendously.
Facts.
And the girls, when they say, "Oh, I'm just here with my friend to like have a girls' night," they're actually there for a girls' night now.
Yes.
It has changed. So
And Dove has been nodding with us the entire time. We
I
got one
know.
single guy in the room that
Keep it
agrees
real.
with us.
He's an
lying.
incel.
And now
He's
he's
100%
on
an
Tinder,
incel.
though.
on
Yeah,
Tinder,
yeah.
the women find like 90% of the guys unattractive
Ugly.
on
Yeah.
Tinder. So
Yeah.
it's like,
Yeah.
it's definitely skewed, is what we're trying to say. And
There's,
like,
listen,
it is what it is. Yeah.
I don't want it to come across like what you're saying is 100% wrong.
I don't think that either. I
right?
don't think.
I think literally we're just trying to move the needle in one direction.
I think we both think there's room for evolution in your philosophy.
Exactly. So it's like, I think that we're just over here going like, yo, there's a lot of dope women out here. I've dated a lot of dope women that like I just didn't really get along with, but they were dope. They weren't like golding and predator chicks, and I know both of y'all have too.
Here's the fix for it, right?
Just because Drake fucked them, man.
Hold on.
Yo, just because
Hold
Drake
on.
stole your girl, Fresh.
That's how he
Come
was at Drake's
on,
party.
bro.
He's trying to get his girl
Come
back.
on,
The main
Fresh.
solution, right? It's
This
for
guy, I gotta buy a yacht. I gotta compete with Drake.
It's for me.
What did he do to you? Who is this girl?
Drake is awesome, by the way. No, but like I gotta say this: a guy's biggest fix for
That's
this
what she said,
is
isn't
to,
it?
is to become the best person possible for himself. So fitness, mindset, and money.
I think we both agree there.
At that
Yeah.
point, he's seen by women now as, you know what, he's an option. Before
Yeah.
that, I don't want to see him, or I don't really think he's a good option for me. That's the biggest problem here. Guys are invisible. So black, white, Asian, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
If you're not on a certain level of security for a girl,
Yeah.
is she gonna marry you? Probably not.
Yeah.
And let's say she does marry you. Oh, you know what? This is boring. I'm gone. Divorce. Lost half your money. Is it
Yeah.
really worth it? No. So become the best person
Yeah.
you can be. Money, fitness, and finance.
Yeah.
And then go from there and learn how
I
to
think
date.
I think we all agree with that.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think core values we
Yeah.
all agree on, like what is important and things you can fit. Like we are lucky as dudes, bro. Like we get to change that.
Yeah.
Like girls that are born ugly, bro.
Their life sucks.
Bruh.
Yeah.
Bruh. There's no fresh and fit for women.
Yeah. No,
right?
there's
They're
none.
just like, sorry.
The real.
Right? It's just it.
Face and lift. That's what
Face
that
and
shit is.
lift. Real talk. Like, I guess there's plastic surgery in these certain things, but like we are malleable. Our value is malleable. We can go out there and we can get successful. We can go out there, we can get money, and we can literally work on being more charismatic. Literally listening. You know how many dudes just don't know how to listen? I swear to God, like
Yeah.
if you get a girl to the point where like she's comfortable enough sharing with you,
Yeah.
you don't have to impress her no more. Literally just listen to what she has to say. There's so many dudes that like constantly, oh yeah, we're here and I have this thing and I can't wait to go to St. Bart's and this and that. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, if you put that energy out, you'll probably attract women that are into that.
That's another thing.
Boasting.
If you think your value is all this money that you got, you're gonna what is it called? Patrice O'Neal. Like you hunt what you can catch.
Yep.
We tell guys not to lead with the wallet. It hurts you a lot of the time. You know what I'm saying?
Active listening. You got to listen first.
Yeah.
And then receive after. But just to add to this point as well, like I'm not the best looking dude, right? But once again, charisma in person, having a great experience can win the day over. So like I don't judge by looks either because looks, bro. Real talk. Once you got a girl in front of you, charisma, great time. Yeah. You can take the lead from there. So
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, we honestly, and that's why we tell guys, you know, we have a Money Monday, a Womanizer Wednesday, Fitness Friday. The reason why we do that is because we tell guys you got to become the best version of yourself, and then the byproduct of that is the girls will like you.
And Womanizer Wednesday is a part of that growth, huh?
Yes, it is. It is. We talk about on there. We talk about like actually that this viral episode that you guys the clip is from was from a Womanizer Wednesday where we talked about, you know, using dating apps to get girls, etc. And we broke down, you know, Plenty of Fish, Hinge, all these other sites. But yeah, that's Womanizer Wednesday is like typically dating related.
I think you guys are genuinely like nice dudes that got fucked over by like bad women, like in your life maybe, that like came in and like finessed you and like fucked you guys over. And my fear would be that your audience of people that really trust you and look up to you would then you're teaching them how to go down a path to be defensive and scared of women. And then they could potentially finesse and fuck over other women that were innocent, had nothing to do with it, and then they become the women that you're talking about.
Yep.
well, we're not okay, just to correct.
And I don't know if that's the case. I don't really consume a ton of your content, but it might be my fear. And I guess hopefully in the future, if that's the case, it's more
we're not scared. We haven't been hurt. It's more like we understand the dangers of dating women, and we want guys to know. Look, just look for these things so you don't get finesse. That's the biggest thing. Because if you don't know going into it, you're gonna be like, yeah, she loves me for me. Probably not. So it's like, okay, understand who you are, what you want.
Why wouldn't she love you for you? You're great, bro.
Andrew.
Hey, bro.
Stop the cap, bro. Stop the cap.
Hey, you know what it sounds like?
Why would she love you
Hey,
for you? What's wrong with you, bro?
Andrew, you know what he sounds like? Somebody who been hurt by women.
Bro, tell me what happened, bro.
Never.
What Drake do to this girl, man?
You never been hurt by a woman?
You telling me your girl didn't come back with hot sauce in her pussy? You telling me? Are you telling me?
OVO, I don't know what's going on here, bro.
No, come on, bro. What happened?
Here's the thing. In this world, it's either pimp or be pimped.
Yeah.
So if we can arm guys with the tools.
What is that, dog? That's what I'm
man.
saying. Your views are very black and white. You're too old to be thinking like this.
Word.
Hey, man. Well, we can have different worldviews, but if we look at it, it's pimp or be pimp, baby. So I'd rather equip the guys with the tools so they can go out there and navigate the dating marketplace in a way where they won't get finessed.
You don't think that's a dangerous mindset for the world to have?
Did I pimp my wife?
Yeah.
Is that what happened?
Yeah. Or is she pimping you? Same with all of us. But like, not for real. Like, what if we're also telling you that that's not the experience? And that maybe there's experiences you've had and being in a fucked up dating scene like Miami, right? And we know it could get wild, especially if you're going to like these types of parties. You got a lot of girls that are like literally paid to be there. And they might be paid to do other stuff as well. So if you're interacting with these girls, I can understand how you like grow a little bit of fucking resentment. You're like, where are the good girls at?
There's no resentment, man. It's just awareness. And I know it might come off that way, but it's just merely just being aware of what's going on, adapting to the situation, and making the best move that's gonna not put you in a compromising position. Because we've heard so many terrible stories from guys making mistakes, etc. with women, that's come back and really bit them in the ass. So we just want guys to maneuver it in a way where
I think that's altruistic of you.
Yeah.
Like I really do. Like you're like, I want you to be safe. I want you to be protected. Like I'm going shark diving. You're like, bro, can I give you this fucking metal suit that you put on? So just in case the shark does bite you, you're looking out.
Yeah.
You're actually looking out for these people. You care. My feeling is that you have a little bit skewed version if you think it's pimp or be pimped. Yeah. It's like, bro, you don't like, how can you develop a loving relationship with somebody if you're constantly going, am I pimping or is she pimping? That's dangerous.
Here's the thing. One person in the relationship, whoever cares less has the leverage, and we want the guy to always care less. We want the man to always have the leverage.
Childish as fuck.
And you guys might not like hearing that.
Childish.
But we truly feel.
I'm not. These aren't new beliefs, bro. You're not telling me some shit none of us have ever heard. We all heard this from fraternity guys in college. I'm saying there's room in and I don't have a problem with a lot of the stuff you say. I just think there is room for growth. And you guys' refusal to acknowledge it almost kind of proves it to me, confirms it to me that you guys are not willing to grow right now. And that's fine. That's some ego shit. We're just saying there's room for growth. A very mature answer is, yeah, probably. If you say that to me, I'm sure I got room to grow. Y'all are literally saying, nah, we know how it is. We're in Miami. I bet if you go to Idaho and see only 2 bitches are getting flown out of Idaho, you'd be like, oh, the world isn't like this. We're just asking you to look and take an assessment of what you say and what you spread and be like, okay, maybe there's room for growth. And y'all ain't even willing to do that for an hour and a half.
I mean, I truly feel that
That's your opinion, bro.
yeah, that's your opinion.
See what I'm saying?
I don't care.
What
What you guys have a platform. You say whatever you want.
With men and women, one party cares less than the other does, and whoever cares less has the leverage. And we want the guys to always be in a position where the woman is constantly chasing them, not the other way around.
I think you're saying like
the man has to be in a leadership role where the woman feels. How do I say that she got the prize? The man has to be in that position, not the woman.
I think we both want to feel like we got the prize, though. And I think that's the best relationship. It's like the best sale or the best business move is like you do something where you feel like you got the best and they feel like they got the best, right? Like that's the perfect deal that's made.
It's perfect, but it doesn't happen like that all the time.
I'm not saying it does. And I think that like to act as if one person doesn't like the other person more, for us to sit here and be like, no, every relationship they equally love.
Not.
I think that love can be different, and I don't think that there's a scale that you can judge it. But I think that we would get pushback to be like, no, every single one is perfectly equal.
Yeah.
I think that'd be
our biggest thing is we want the woman chasing the man's validation, never the other way around. The relationship to be in the best position, because men lead, women follow. It's always been that way, and we want the guys to have the leverage in the relationship, because if you do, your girl's always going to feel like she has the best option that she can get. That's just the way women mate select. They want the best and the brightest. And for her to feel that way, she needs to constantly be chasing for your validation. And I know you guys might not necessarily agree with that.
That's fine.
But it's basic human psychology.
That's how you get cheated on, bro. That's how you get cheated on, because you got a girl chasing validation she's never getting, and all of a sudden a dude pulls up on her and he's like, man, you're amazing. I want to give you all the validation.
I'm not saying ignore your girl, but what I am saying is that she needs to understand that you are the prize.
And you can also think she is one.
Yeah.
Yes.
She doesn't have to know it, though.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
She don't got to know it.
I'm saying.
Can you clarify that maybe that's more so in the beginning of a relationship to get to that point, and then you develop something that's a little real. In the beginning, it is a hunt, and it is.
Have you guys had long-term relationships?
Yeah, but so what?
How long?
Okay, go ahead.
So hold on, just to answer that question as well, because like at the very beginning stage, you're trying to figure out who she is and she wants to figure out who you are. So you can't really be like simping over her too much, because then it's like, okay, this guy's probably gonna be like pandering to me at all times. You gotta like understand who she really is. Once you know that, cool. Now the dynamic changes in that aspect. But you can't just jump into it like, oh yeah, just like love me. Like, no, you gotta see who she really is.
I can imagine the beginning, but then once the relationship is there is that that's
You can't be chasing,
real
bro.
connection.
It's like you guys have to build something together.
You build a connection, but like for me personally, the way I do it is I just have other girls. Like whoever I'm dealing with, she knows I'm not gonna be monogamous.
That's healthy.
And actually, what that does is it keeps her on her toes. Women always get in line when they know you have other women in line. It's just the way it is. You know what I'm saying? When you have other girls, women are on their best behavior. You know, and I know that's an unflattering thing to say on a podcast.
It's not necessarily wrong. It's not necessarily wrong, especially if you're being transparent. Like, if she's building towards something, I think she'd probably agree. I assume most girls, when they start dating a guy, especially a guy with value, they're like, there are other girls that are probably interested in this guy, and maybe he's dating. I know it comes across harsh when you say it, but I don't think it's actually unrealistic. I think it is actually the reality. But eventually, if you want to have a relationship, you're going to have to put your focus and time and love into that one person. And if you keep playing like the cat and mouse game, it's going to get exhausting for her, man. And she's gonna go to security. We all go to emotional security. And if you're not her emotional security, it's going to be something else. And I think that's why those pickup artist dudes flamed out, is because they realized the skills that they used to get the girls were not the skills that they used to maintain them.
Shallow.
So it's like, what's that?
It's shallow.
It's shallow, right? And it's just exhausting, and you're actually not building something real, and you're keeping this person in a state of perpetual fear, and you're doing that because you're in a state of perpetual fear, so nobody's comfortable. Eventually, you both need to let the guard down and be like, listen, are we in this together? Or are we going to build this? And we can argue about human nature all we want, but like, marriage is an institution, be it religion or not, that has existed for a long time. I'm literally rolling the dice on it. I'm gambling that I can build something with it. I saw my parents do it. You know what I mean? I've seen other people do it, and I've seen it flounder as well. but to act like it's not a
And
possibility.
yeah, nobody's marriage is invincible. None of us are saying our
100%.
marriage is invincible.
And we're all gonna fuck up, and we're all gonna say things that are disrespectful, and we're all gonna be treated a certain way by our partners that we can't fathom they would actually do. But ideally, you're committed enough to build back from that and restore that thing that you guys are building together. That's my only fear. My fear is that if you keep on playing this game where you're like, I got to keep her a little bit away, I can't keep her comfortable, I can't let her feel secure, you're not going to actually feel that love from a woman when she is secure. And that's a powerful thing, man. When a woman feels secure, bro.
I mean, I respectfully disagree a little bit. I'm gonna say, like, you know, I always say you don't want a girl comfortable. You know, future bitches don't get too comfortable. Like,
comfortable.
you know,
But
because when
Future's
they're
a loser.
uncomfortable. But here's the thing:
He got 7
I'm
baby mamas.
I'm just using that as a quote. But in general, like, you know,
what I'm saying?
when a girl isn't necessarily, when she doesn't know where she stands with you, and there might be other women, you know, in the wing.
Yeah.
That's when they're on their best behavior, man. It is what it is. I mean, like,
You think that's sustainable? Look, early on playing games, I get, dude. None of us are
No,
fucking
you're being upfront.
idiots.
You let her know.
We get
You let
it.
her know.
Early on, yeah, whatever. Being upfront, talking to other women,
Yeah.
so you don't get too emotionally invested because you might get hurt early on because you're both scared. That makes absolute sense. If you're telling me, if you're gonna get on this podcast and say I'm gonna get married and my wife is gonna know it's an open relationship, I have a hard time believing this. It's open for me. You are gonna be loyal
absolutely,
to me.
I'm gonna do that.
Yeah. Okay.
You know,
We
you know how
will
many
see.
millionaires are like that though in the world?
I grew up
There's
Muslim,
many.
so you know,
There's many. There's many millionaires.
Oh, well,
like
you
that.
got the religious loophole where we just get, you know,
Yeah.
God is on our side. And
Yeah.
you say you grew up Muslim or you are Muslim?
I am, but yeah.
Okay.
So,
Practicing.
yeah. Well, no, I need to get back on it. You know,
So
I'm not
practice
praying
when
and
it's
stuff.
convenient. I got you.
Yeah, but,
so I'm Muslim for multiple wives. But God, Valley bacon at
Let me
breakfast.
get back on it. I'm gonna hit the mosque, but no, just in general, like I've always had that worldview that like a man can have multiple women, but not the other way around. Men and women are not the same whatsoever when it comes
I
to
don't
that
think
regard.
that we would disagree with you on
Yeah.
that. Like, I don't think women want that. I don't think there's women out there like, I definitely want multiple men.
I agree with you on that.
And I think there's probably guys that for sure would be like, man, it'd be nice to have multiple women. But can I build the thing that I want with multiple women? I don't know. I don't think so.
I think you can. It's just hard.
It's
It's
hard.
not
It's
because
not
you're going to be
easy.
managing
It's
multiple
hard.
women. You're
It's
going
not
to be
easy.
managing. You know, so it takes a very strong leader to be able to do it. But
Yeah.
you could definitely do it.
But
Yeah.
see, this is
You
what
know?
you tell guys. Hey, here's your tools. You choose your choice. It's your
Yeah.
life to live. Marriage, no marriage, multiple women, your choice to make. That's it.
Guys, thank you for coming up here.
Thanks for having us.
I thought we were gonna convert you. I thought we were gonna convert you into
Yeah, man.
into.
I spent honesty, man.
Yeah.
I do
No,
appreciate
that's
you
you too,
guys
bro.
coming up here, and I'm curious about your journey.
City Boys for life.
We'll
We
see.
up.
We'll see. We'll see. I don't know. I think a girl's gonna get you on. I think you're gonna get locked down, and I hope that. I really hope that you allow that to happen. And I hope if you find a girl and that she means that much to you guys,
In Colombia.
they'll do it. And it might be in Colombia. It might be.
I'll find her.
in Miami.
But I'm going to get
I
3
just
more for
hope-
2.
There you go.
I
you
just
go.
hope you guys grow up a little bit because the way you do view the world is very immature. But
That's your opinion.
It comes with life. It is my opinion, but I just hope you guys grow up because it's like this part of the messages that you are teaching your listeners. It's not good for society.
Part of it's really valuable.
Some,
Not all of it.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree with that. I agree. Yeah, I agree with that.
I mean, we can agree to disagree, which is totally cool. No problem. You know, I mean, if you guys have your views on our
100%.
content being immature.
You
totally
guys have
cool.
to get married. And that is
I
the
was
end
married
all be all.
at one point.
What did she do to you?
I
bro?
knew it. I knew one of
What
y'all was
did she
married.
do to
I
you, bro?
knew one of y'all was married.
And you was never hurt.
And you
Yeah.
never in a long-term relationship?
Like with marriage?
No, just like a multiple year girlfriend type of thing.
You know, with other girls. You
Oh,
know,
but
having
it was never
multiple-
exclusive.
No. That's stupid. Exclusivity.
It might be stupid, but if you haven't experienced it, then it's hard for you to say if it's good or bad, right?
I genuinely believe as a man, if you get to a certain point, it is not in your best interest to be monogamous.
but
I
you've
don't
never
think you
tried
should.
it, and it's never worked for you, so it's hard.
No,
right?
I've done it with like one girl that I'm like, this is not fun. I'm just like,
but
all
maybe
right.
she wasn't the right one.
Nah, man. Because I've always said like one woman can never sexually satisfy you. Like a man's sexual thirst is like almost insatiable. Like he's gonna want variety. Like guys always
Wait
want
till
variety.
your late 30s.
You know what I'm saying? They want variety. So it's like she could handle
Right.
your emotional needs as a woman, but by
Right.
herself sexually, no, you're always gonna want other women. Men like different colors and flavors. It is
Yeah,
what
and
it
what
is.
you guys are talking about is evolutionary. None of us can deny that evolution is hardwired in every species. That the man is sperm is very cheap genetically, so you try to fuck everything and procreate as much as possible.
sure.
It's hardwired in us. What you are also overlooking is that in humanity, we decided to stay monogamous for reproductive success. Because at the end of the day, we need the kid to stay alive. And the best way for us to do that is monogamous. So if you're going to talk about evolution, monogamy is also evolutionary.
That is true.
Yeah, but polygamy works as well. It works great for the family because you
If
have
it
multiple
works-
women, and then they
if
all
it
care for the
worked, we
children
would do it.
collectively.
If it worked, every culture would adopt it.
Most men
There's a
can't-
reason
most
why we
men
don't.
can't do it. They can't
That's
do
why
it. They
most-
want to,
Because
but
it
they
doesn't
can't.
work.
No, they don't have the
Financial
level
means.
of values and means to
For
it.
sure,
That's the
for
reason
sure.
why.
I guess what I'm trying to say is that it makes sense what you're teaching because we teach what we know and we teach what we're experts in. And you're an expert in this lifestyle, whether that's by choice, which you say, or by just not having the experience where you've been in a relationship that's like a loving, beautiful relationship that you want to build, right? You're teaching the thing you know. But you do acknowledge that there are other things out there. You at least know it.
Yeah.
For sure.
And they could also be quote unquote right and possible, and that there's a way to teach that as well. And all I would say is like, maybe keep your mind open because you might find that, and then you might want to share that with all the people who really fuck with you and they like what you teach.
And I know a lot of guys would be happy with a monogamous relationship and stuff like that, and they want one girlfriend. But to be honest, man, if you gave the guy the choice, hey, listen, man, you can have 4 girls, and hook up with them, or you can have 1 girl. Most guys are gonna want the 4 girls. It's just that the politically correct thing to say
Not for
is
marriage,
to say
dog. Fuck
is
that.
1 girl. You know what I'm saying?
4 wives is crazy. 4 wives
guys
is
want
That's
absolutely-
why
women.
Muslims are suicide bombers, bro. Get me the fuck out of here, dog.
Extremists.
I want out, son.
Extremists.
Yeah.
No,
We
need those- we need those virgins.
Yeah. We're
We need
doing the
them.
thing with the jokes. Remember?
Yeah. No, I hear what you're saying. I think what happens a lot of times in relationships is you have to make sacrifices for the things that make you happy. And if that one person, being with that one person, makes you so happy in these aspects of your life, you're maybe willing to sacrifice this other thing, right? And I think as you guys are going to get more famous, and it's going to get even easier to get pussy, and you'll start to realize when it's not something that you're conquesting, when you become the conquested, that pussy shit means nothing.
Actually,
No, of course.
it is
I'm just saying,
harder.
like, you guys aren't there yet. When you're there, when you start being the one that's hunted, when they start kicking, you know what I mean? Like when
We
they
get
start
less
putting the
girls now,
notch,
man.
No.
We
when
get
they
less
put
girls
the
now.
notch in your belt, all of a sudden you're like, oh shit, I'm the gazelle,
Bro.
You know what I'm saying? You need to be defensive then.
It was easier before
Yeah,
this, bro.
we
I
got
wish
more
I could go
girls
back
That's
and
because
say-
all your clips with views is you yelling at 10 women, bro.
No.
When the shit with y'all
It's not-
starts
it's not
popping
even
off.
that. Dude, girls are coming, but it's like, I don't want, like, it's for example, like, they're coming, but I don't want you. It's like, before I was hunting what I wanted.
Right.
I was like, stay away, I don't want you. That's the
Right.
problem. So it's like, I gotta pick and choose and be careful. What do you want? Da-da-da. So it's
We got
different.
way more girls before the
Yeah,
show, man.
way more, bro.
Way more. Because we had more time.
Yeah.
We do 2 shows a day. They're live. We're dealing with a bunch of
We don't
crazy
travel
girls.
like that.
Girls find our social media. You guys are those misogynists for the podcast. It's like, oh, okay, here we go. All right, cool. Move on to the next one. So it's like we actually get less girls now because of, the fame, so to speak, if
Yeah.
they were going to call it fame.
It's hard before. Now.
It is what it is.
I'm checking in on y'all in 3 years.
Let's do it.
Yep.
Can I
I'll
ask
have 3
you-
wives.
Can I ask you one last question
Sure.
before we go? Being black, being a little bit self-loathing, is that why you wanted to enter law enforcement?
Oh, man. Here we go.
It
never
just
wrestled-
adds up too well. You know what I mean? As an Indian, I'm gonna do the math.
No, I was federal, man. So I was actually doing like a lot of Mexican cartel investigations.
Okay.
So yeah.
Got
Got
you.
you there, man. No.
Hey, keep the Browns out of the country.
Hey, we gotta do what we gotta do, man.
All right, man. Thank you guys very much for
Thanks
coming
for
on.
having
I
us on,
appreciate
guys.
the conversation.
Even though we disagree, thank you
Yeah,
guys for
yeah,
coming
of course.
on.
No,
But this
Awesome
is
job,
good,
man.
and I'm keeping tabs on y'all, man. I mean that. 3
Hey,
years.
man, you gotta come on our show with the chicks now.
Yeah, bro.
All right,
Come
not with the
us.
girls, man. It's too much.
One-on-one.
I'll just come. I'll come and
One-on-one.
just talk. We can talk about these type of gender dynamics. I love
Yeah.
talking about all fucking day
Sure.
long. I think it's a lot of fun. But with the girl, I don't know. It's too much. It's too much.
And shout out to academics, man, for connecting us too.
Of course, man. Yeah. Shout out to
Academics.
academics. But for real, I'm keeping tabs on y'all. And I mean this, man. And yeah. And
If we don't get canceled.
And don't not grow just because I'm watching and other people are watching and they don't want to see it. If it happens, let that shit happen.
Stick it to our
Take your
guns.
lickings and enjoy
You're
your
gonna see
fucking
me with 4 girls on the pod. These are my wives now. You know,
Hey, if you
A
do
flavor
it-
they said you're not gonna get all those
If
girls.
you do it, God bless you, bro.
No, I'm just
God bless it. All right, man. Fresh and fit. Check them out. Peace.
Peace.